Can you see my beer cans?
Nah.
No?
All right, dude. We're live. I'm just going to record it from Streamlabs. Bring,
Still,
bring.
can you see my fucking shoulder?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's chill. I can see the middle light right above you.
No. Woo. Will you let me know? I'll keep this chair right chaw.
Pulling up all the Twitch channels.
Oh, man.
Hey, you can pull it up on your phone. Make sure you like it.
On YouTube Live?
Whatever you want. Or Twitch. Same thing.
I don't know, man. You can see it. I don't know where I'm pulling it up at. If
Good.
it looks good, it looks good. Fuck it. So we're like, are we about to go here?
Yeah, I mean, we are live as it stands.
You got the outline?
I got it in front of me.
All right. You can see it on your end. I can't see anything, so.
What do you mean?
Does it look fine on your end? Because let's roll.
You can open up the stream on your phone. All right, we are recording.
All right.
Go.
All right. What's up and welcome to Around with the Boys podcast. On this show, we talk about life, sports, business, and all the cool shit in between. I'm your host, James Rackley. Along with me, as always, is my co-host,
Johnny Dunleavy.
Mr. Johnny Dunleavy. So sit back, relax, crack you a cold one, because America's moving on, baby.
Again, wonderful stuff with the crack in the middle. Right there. That was great. Welcome to episode 104 Around with the Boys podcast. We are live, YouTube, Twitch, and now Facebook. Pretty cool. We're doing it remotely tonight. Crazy week for both of us. James is on his iPad, but we're here. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
The U.S. is moving on. We're going to wrap up a little recap at Thanksgiving. Two pretty crazy things I saw this week. And then we're going to get right into the World Cup.
Let's do it, bud.
Jimmy. Oh, like and subscribe. Give us a rating, too.
Jeez.
Hopefully we popped up on your Spotify wrap-up. Oh, yes. And my brother James is joining us today when we talk about the World Cup, which we'll get to. We'll chime him in on the Google Meet. But you guys can watch this if you want on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Yeah, if you have any feedback, type away. Let us know, especially when we start talking about the match and all other sports stuff.
For sure. Jimmy, how was your Thanksgiving? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there as well.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. We took a little hiatus for holidays, to be expected.
It was busy,
mine was great. Got stuffed. Made no money on any of my lineups. I didn't bet straight up. I just did lineups. But I got smoked on Thanksgiving, dude. Got my money back the following Sunday, or that coming Sunday. But other than that, Thanksgiving was great. Family was good. Everybody's happy, healthy, and that's all you can really ask for in life. That's all that matters.
Great.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you love that. It was good, man. We went to Emily's cousin's house. Great time. They had the games on, everything. Unlike you, I did very well on Thanksgiving. I had a 4-pick. I called it the turkey. Well, I had a 3-pick, right? Anytime touchdown score, took one from each game. Called it the turkey. I hit it. I then took another one, same exact one, and threw an extra one in. Hit that. So it was great. It was great. Yeah, I took, let's see here, Stephon Diggs, and who did the Bills? The Bills played.
God. Well, at that point, I think. Wait, the Bills played first.
Yeah, I know. I had 2 picks in that one.
Detroit.
That's right. Jamal Williams.
Yep.
Jamal
Yeah,
Williams.
I didn't pick him, man. That pissed me off so
You
bad.
have to. The guys, hey, listen, you have to. But I took Jamal Williams, so that was the one I took in both. And then the second game, I had Zeke. And then the third game, I had Justin Jefferson. And that shit, dude, it was the night game. That damn thing hit 5 minutes into it. I said, whoop, bedtime. Turned the TV off, and that was a wrap.
Dude. Yeah, I heard that. Well, congrats to you, man.
Good time. But, yeah, not a good week, crazy.
Did you cook anything for Thanksgiving? Were you a part of anything?
No. So we brought Emily actually made world's greatest charcuterie board. It was a hit. Absolute hit.
The world's greatest.
World's great. It truly was very nice.
What was on this board to be the greatest? I need to know.
We had 4 different kinds of cheeses. There was goat cheese, which I'm not really a fan of. Your regular cheddar. Pub cheese.
That spicy mustard cheese, you know what I'm talking about?
There was pub cheese with horseradish in it. Had a little kick to it.
You're a horseradish guy?
No, I'm not. Regular pub cheese is on me. I do not mess with the horseradish. Not my style. And then the last one was like it was some white cheese, but it was aged in wine. I don't know. All I know is that there was some good ass salami sausage and shit and pepperonis, and I'd cut that off, put it on a cheese cracker with some of that aged wine cheese. It was amazing.
That's a conundrum. Wine cheese, Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I like the picture, smile and cry, whatever. Theater shit.
Whatever. All right, so a couple things that I saw this week that I thought were interesting that I wanted to talk about, and then we're going to get to the World Cup. There was a man who fell overboard in a cruise ship last week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this. This guy drifted throughout the night for 15 hours, and the Coast Guard actually found him alive.
Yeah, in the Gulf of Mexico.
Crazy.
So, like, his sister, they were at the bar or whatever. I've never been on a cruise. Have you been on a cruise?
I have. Yeah, I did a 9-day cruise. It was
Where
at? 4 days too long. It was out of Bayonne, New Jersey, the port up there. And we went to it was like a day and a half, 2 days at sea, hit Bermuda, which is crazy. It's like 300 miles off of our coast. Bermuda, and then did another day and a half at sea. Hit St. John, St. Martin, and then San Juan, Puerto Rico.
When the hell did you do this? Like prior to moving down here?
No, dude, no. I was after freshman year of college, or after sophomore year of college. I went with my dad and my younger brothers, and like that side of the family. My dad and his.
Oh, cool, man. I literally don't remember. It's weird.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. I was like 19, and I was like, oh, international. I can drink. I'm good.
Okay, well.
No, I was mistaken. They had changed the law.
Well, describe the bar scene, because that's where this guy went. He was last seen in the bar like 11.
Dude, it's like any other club. Like there's like one club, right? There's like 2 or 3 bars, but one like club.
Yeah, I got you.
And it's like any other like club. I mean, big dance floors, the whole 9, like big ass bar. I mean,
we know you can tear up a dance floor. I've seen it in person. Like, this man will burn your eyebrows right off. But here's the thing. Like,
I got some big eyebrows to burn off. It's gonna take a little fun.
But here's my thing. Like, how big is the railing? Because I always hear these stories of people falling off, and I'm like,
all right. So I'll say this.
What's the word with that?
I'll say this. There were balcony rooms that some of us in the group. Now the group was like, dude, there was like 20, or maybe not that many. Maybe I would say maybe a little less than 20, about 18 of us in the group, right? The big family together.
Yeah,
there had to be more. Either way, and I mistakenly, I brought 2 cans of dip. What a rookie move this was, and I'll tell you why. I get to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Okay, so before I'm out, I run out of dips. I'm like, damn, man. And
2 cans for 9 days, nah.
Yeah, so one of my dad's brother-in-laws or whatever from that side, he was like, oh, he's like, come back to my room. He's like, we'll have a drink. He's like, I saw him put a dip in at the dinner table. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then I'm looking at him, and he never spits. And I'm like,
oh, bro.
Hey, this man was
Tough as
dipping.
nails.
Listen. It was Copenhagen straight snuff. Now, for those of you that don't know what that is, right? Long cut is what you see everybody. That's the usual, right? Snuff is comparable to sand. And I didn't know that. So I go back to his room. Now, he has a balcony. This is what I was going to say. He's got a balcony. And we go out on that thing, and he pours me a drink, and it's scotch. First time I ever had scotch. I'm already pretty drunk at this point.
Burn your lungs.
I was dying. And then he's like, take a dip. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I have to at this point, right? Like, I'm 19, I think, 19 or 20. And I put it in, man. Whew, I lasted about 3.5 minutes before that thing was out. And I'm standing on this balcony. And I've been the same. I've been 5'8" for like, since senior year of high school. And it's the railing is only up to like my stomach.
All right, that's sketchy.
Like the bottom of like my chest plate. I'm
That's
like
sketchy.
kind of leaning on it. I'm like, hey, this is wild, and it's dark out, and you're just cruising. It was sketchy, man. I didn't mess with it. I'll be the first to tell you, I'll never go on a cruise again.
I heard, but you know, how, like you remember, like when we were kids, you go to the field trip and it was like you go on the pirate ships. They were like the size of how they were, and like the English, the Spanish Armada, like crap like that. They were tiny. So why are we still building it for that size shit? Like we're not like 5 foot average anymore.
Yeah,
that would be my thing. So anyway, this dude, my fault. This dude's sister, like, she goes to, like, knock on his door or whatever in the morning, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
No answer. No clue.
Yeah.
So by the time, now think about this. I don't know what time the dude fell off. Let's just say midnight for whatever. You're talking 12 hours, right? Or at least 8 hours, because she's not waking up before 8.
Right.
And he's treading water. Nothing. Drunk.
That's the thing. He didn't have a life. He didn't have nothing.
Like, dude, go sit in the pool right now and tread water for 2 minutes. You're gonna be exhausted, and you're probably gonna sink. Like that. How crazy that dude was probably trying to float and everything else. Like, I would like to hear his.
Yeah, I hope he does an interview.
I would love to hear it.
I would too. I mean, it's just like an insane story of survival.
Yeah, dude. Because God knows. Who knows what day of the cruise that was? You know. And, like, let's just say he'd been, like, going after it for 4 days. And he's tired. And then you fell over. You're in the Gulf of Mexico. That ship's leaving. Nobody hears you.
Literally. It's literally leaving.
And that's what's so crazy because, like, you're literally watching you're watching yourself die. Like, by that boat leaving, you're like, I'm dead. Because they said when they picked him up, he had hypothermia and all that. Because, I mean,
yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
You know? It's just incredible. Like, that guy is extremely lucky.
So lucky. And the footage is wild. It's like the infrared, like night vision from the helicopter, and you just see this dude, and he somehow manages to wave his hands, and like, oh, there he is. Like I can't even imagine the feeling he had when he saw that helicopter finally realize that, like, they see me. Thank God,
dude. And to put it in perspective, like, dude, people drown at the ocean like here every year, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just right there off the shore. Everybody sees you. This dude was out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he said he was some 22 miles from land.
Yeah, dude. And everybody's like, oh, whatever. But you got the Coriolis effect? I mean, dude.
Yeah.
You're out there alone.
No, ain't nobody seeing you. There's nobody seeing you. No one is seeing you.
And not to mention all the creepy crap rolling underneath you. Like, no.
Oh,
no,
yeah, that's the other thing, dude. I'd be terrified of that. I would be more scared of getting eaten alive out there than exhausting myself and drowning.
Yeah. There's no, to me, like doing the acting stuff, like one of my, like, so terror, you have like your 4 emotions, whatever that you delve into, but terror is one of them. And what I used was like a shark biting my leg, you know, because you don't see it, you don't hear it, you just boom, and there it is. You don't know when it's coming, but before that, So it's like, but you have to anyway. That was one of my terror things, but I just don't understand. Like he's lucky, and Joe Dean's our buddy who surfs and was out there. He also had a similar situation. It's just wild. Like count your blessings.
Yeah, dude, that's just crazy. So
what was the other?
All right, so the other thing, okay, I found this out. So we talk about gambling a lot on here. This is a new form of gambling that I have come across, and you can on eBay pay $225, I believe is what I saw, for a 50-pound. Comes in two 25-pound boxes. 50-pound bag of dirt from a gold mine that has not been washed or sifted or sorted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I saw this video. This guy, he did it, found a little bit the first time, did it again, second time, cashed in. And he had like the whole rig, right? Like the pan with the water and all that. But you can straight up from gold mines, they just put 50 pounds a bag. It's like it's 10 pounds, like 2-gallon Ziploc bags, and each bag is 10 pounds of dirt. And they put them in priority mail boxes, and then they put like the boxes in one big box, and that's how it comes.
I mean, but you gotta think, like, dude, you're getting some sucker dirt, like.
yeah. Someone's getting lucky, right? Like,
this guy, like, it's like the lottery. Like, all right, dude, every 10,000 of these bags we send out, one of them's gonna have like 80 grand in it. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're. Sorry, I'm gonna text my brother. Tell him I'm sending this shortly.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but it's got. I mean, someone's like, oh yeah, hell, order number 50. This guy's gonna get some gold. Everyone, dude. The next 24 are fucked until you get to 70.
You know what that shit reminds me of? It reminds me of, like, remember with Totem and Zoo when we were kids? It it had like the little mining operation. So you buy like a $10 like 5-gallon bucket and you pour it in there and you get to shuck it. And you find little rocks that they fucking stuffed in there. And you go
like what am I gonna do with this?
But they sit there like you're a little kid, dude, and you're like, oh. And they pull all this big words out like geology stuff and, or whatever. Geography. I don't know, man.
It is geology. You were right. You were correct.
Okay, good. But you didn't say anything, so I thought
well, because I took that class. I was like, oh, he's right. I took that classic.
Yeah. But anyway, you get
we got tested on what rocks look like. How hilarious is that?
Like, I'm never gonna use it. And then what blew my mind, some of the prettiest ones weren't worth anything.
And we all cheated the
Is that like life? Damn.
It might be.
You see?
Is that like life?
Everything that glistens always ain't gold. That same thing. If you buy a big old bag of dirt in your mailbox, hoping there's gold in it, son.
I might try it.
How much was it again? $250?
$225.
Put that in the slot machine. What are you talking about? Buying a bag of dirt from this dude going, all right. Yeah.
Off eBay. By the way, it's not even like a store or whatever. But
like, how can he even legitimize, like, oh, dude, I found gold here one time. I'm gonna sell everybody this dirt here and say there could be gold. I'm about to start doing it right now in the backyard. I'm gonna talk to Tesh right now. I'm like, dude, let's do a business idea. I got it.
Yeah, but like, someone's got to get some gold, right? Like, you're just gonna be reviews will be this guy's a fraud.
Let me tell you something. There's a show on Netflix right now with that British guy. Anybody on chat? Can you see chat right now?
I can.
All right. If anybody's on chat is listening, God, it's the new archaeology shit. Anyway, they're pinging stuff under the ground for just like a stupid amount of like depth into the earth. You telling me this guy?
What kind of shit though?
Archaeology, like. Basically, they found that cities. So this one place was on top of this kind of hill mountain area. They found that it was actually like you see the rocks and the rubble from that was 10,000 years ago, right?
Yep.
They used this technology. I can't remember what it's called right now, to ping through the earth, and they find more structures. So these people built cities on.
Yeah, I know what you mean, like a depth finder type deal.
Yeah. So they built cities on top of cities, throughout time. Right, just like we do today with the high rises, right?
Right.
Now, this dude probably uses the same technology to find this gold. Like, are you kidding? Like, that's my point, dude. It's just a sucker thing. Like, I wouldn't do it.
I mean, yeah, it probably is a sucker thing, and like, yeah, they probably paid that motherfucker to make that video.
I tell you what, it will be more, especially if you're married or you got a girl, dude. Take your girl out in the mountains. There's places up there in the mountains, dog. You could do that little shucking thing I was saying, right down a stream. You could pick it.
Dude, yeah. There are. There's like gem mines. Em and I passed when we was up there and visited. My brother's gonna join us in about a minute and a half. He just said. Up near where he lives in Asheville.
I mean, dude, they're fun.
I look like I live in Asheville with the bandana I'm wearing.
Yes, yeah. But see, I get carried away because I'd be out there all day. I mean, I enjoy like the chase, like the possible discovery, you know.
Or you like gambling?
No, because I even like metal detecting because like you never know what you're gonna find.
Whoa, there he is.
What up, players? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you great. How you doing?
Loud and clear, man. Suave.
Better now. Are we live?
We are.
Yeah, dude. How do I separate the two things here? Yeah, we're live as we can be, dude.
Oh, hold on one second.
Hey, John, this thing's going back and forth. To who's talking? How do I quit it doing that?
Be able to edit it to prevent it from doing that. You can change the.
You can tell I do this often.
Oh, you just turned the camera off there. You should be able to. Oh, you switched it.
You see 50 in the background.
No, you can change the view. You can turn it to tile view instead of
tile view.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. I'll just hear James. I don't care. Wait a minute.
No, when he talks, he's gonna pop up on the screen.
Yeah, it's annoying. It goes back and forth to you guys. Like
yeah,
you
can change it.
Whatever. Oh, damn. Things just changed for me, boy.
Got it? You good now?
Hell yeah. Yep.
There you go. Yeah, figure it out.
Technology's wet.
No, it's not wet. Jimmy.
No,
What up, players?
Welcome.
I can't believe you can come in this shit with that on. Do you see what I got going on, bro?
No,
Like-
that's exact. Jimmy, let me tell you, that's exactly why I got up and got this goddamn jacket on.
I'm wearing a golf hat, but it has American flag hat on it.
You don't even have to say that. You're saying I'm wearing a flag that represents the country. That's all you need to hear.
All right, so World Cup time.
Cheers, man.
As most everybody knows, USA has advanced.
There's beer in here, I promise you.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. USA's advanced. We play the Netherlands 10 a.m. Saturday. Tomorrow morning, bright and early, we are the first game of the knockout stages. It is winner go home from here on out. James, young Jimmy, give us the breakdown.
I mean, y'all, I got to say there's a lot to break down here, right?
So for the people that don't know, we are playing the Netherlands.
We are playing the Dutch, and it's going to be interesting. We haven't played the Dutch competitively in a very, very, very long time. We played them in a lot of friendlies. The last game we played was 2015. We did win that game. Oddly enough, the assist on the scoring goal was Jordan Morris, who, I got to be honest with you, hope to God he doesn't touch the field tomorrow.
Same.
But yeah, I mean, guys, I think we've seen just outside of our matchup, it's been a wild World Cup so far, right?
Yep.
I mean,
It has
we've
been
seen
wild.
Japan top their group. We've seen Cameroon upset and beat Brazil today, right?
Yeah.
We've seen South Korea come up, make their way through and advance, right? We got a lot of spicy matchups. I have to say, for those out there that put together a bracket, I don't think you're looking at anything good. And if I'm speaking from experience, mine is absolutely tanked. I think I'm bottom of the league that I signed up for.
But, dude, that's what I was going to say, though. This is literally this has been like the NCAA basketball tournament. Like, all these upsets. Dude, we were saying Argentina, Brazil, you know? Like, I just can't believe. I don't know. It's just wild.
See, it's funny. When I stepped into the World Cup, I thought Argentina is going to win this thing. And I hate to say it, because if we advance past the Netherlands and if Argentina beats Australia, which I got to say, I think they will, and I'm trying to be real here, I don't see with the momentum Argentina has behind them right now. This is all hypothetical. We have a big match ahead of us first before we can discuss this. But
Yes.
I still see Argentina as the front runners of this World Cup, despite their first round loss against Saudi Arabia. They had to figure it out.
Yeah. They also have the greatest player, in my opinion, to ever play the game. Well, arguably.
I agree with you.
With
I think
Messi.
if anybody says differently, they're milking the cow for what.
Well,
it's worth.
here's what I'll say to that point, though. The fact that they did lose, everybody else that plays them knows that they can be beat. So that mentality going into that, that's not good for them. I can just say that because every game, I mean, obviously every game's whatever, but if you go in there going like, man, these guys are gonna kick shit out of us, like obviously not gonna play top notch, hard on the line, like. But these cats, not only is it for the country, it's for we know they're beatable. It's happened, so that's my only point.
Have to think on the other half of that, as Argentina think they're front runners, right? And they got beat, and then what have they done since then? Absolutely fucking dismantle the teams they've played.
True,
Right.
And so they're playing with the equal amount of momentum as other teams would go into that. So I still consider it a fair matchup. But the reason I say Argentina is still front runners, because I look at other major teams like France, right?
Right.
Scoring goals, doing well, but are they doing enough? England, right? Great out of the gates against Iran. But then they played the U.S. and they look like the worst team in the fucking world.
We looked extremely better than them in that match.
All right.
Let's look outside the U.S. I'm just saying there's a lot of teams out there that we would all conceive to be front runners in this tournament or absolute leaders that have not showed their true fortitude in the matchups that they've had against weaker teams, which means I look at this in the sense of the USA. We have a very fair chance at advancing depending on how everybody shows up that same day.
I have a little small stat to throw in here to piggyback off of what you're talking about with the USA kind of standing out and playing well every game, to be perfectly honest. If we just had a true out-and-out striker, it would be different. But we were the only country in the World Cup out of 32 teams to not concede a goal from open play. We conceded one goal, and it was via PK. We did not concede a goal from open play in the group stage. We were the only club to do it, only team to do it. Which is big.
Hold on. Before we go any further,
Jimmy, what do you got?
Well, my point is, like, you let me know when we start talking about our game.
That's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about the Netherlands
but it's
first.
important to provide a little bit of context about what you're stepping into.
No. I want you to, because I don't know the other perspective, and that's what I'm trying to say. I want you to go as deep as you can about everything else going on, so people have a worldview, and then come back to us, because that's, you get what I'm saying. But like, that's your skill set, you and John. You know what I mean? Basically, I'm saying I got to get another beer real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, so France, like Kylian Mbappe, who I think is probably the best player in the world at this time, right? Arguably,
you could argue
he's ridiculous.
He's very good.
All right,
but ego plays a part.
Okay, so if things go the way, well, we got to think about Portugal here too. Portugal have been sneaky. If they don't play Ronaldo, I think they are better.
I would disagree to an extent. I think they play Ronaldo to the point where they don't need to, just like how they did in their first and second matches where they did sub Ronaldo.
Yeah.
There's no reason to play a full 90 when he's a great player and he's a legend, obviously. But there's no reason to play a full 90 when you have a team of players that can come in at 22 years old and do just what Ronaldo is doing, but at 33. So if what I'm gathering from Portugal is the fact that they're getting away from the ego of Ronaldo. And I think he's way more susceptible to shedding that with his national team than he is in his club team. Obviously, we're not going to talk about Premier League or club play right now, but
right.
I think it does play a part. And so, yeah, Portugal, sure, perhaps a bit sneaky. I think Switzerland's, kind of snuck in. But we got to talk about the teams like South Korea, like Japan, like Morocco, the teams that are well-built, that a lot of trust in each other, the teams that are really making huge marks in their progression.
For sure. And, all three of those teams that you mentioned are big surprises. But my head, automatically, I'm like, well, South Korea has Son, and we love Sonny, right? And so, whatever. I think Morocco is wild surprise. Japan just played their asses off every single game.
It's discipline. It's team chem. It's discipline.
Well,
and that's what this whole World Cup comes down to is chemistry and discipline. And if you have a team that can put that together, they're going to advance farther than a team that on paper has a lot of talent. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. And I think going back to what Jimmy was saying about the U.S., like we're playing, effectively really good footy. Like let's just take our last match, right, against Iran. We all saw a massive difference between our first half and our second half. And the first half, we didn't play a 4-4-2. Second half, Berhalter changed it, played a 4-4-2, and we were absorbing so much pressure. First half, we were up on possession about 70% to 30. I don't think they got it in our half more than 5 times.
Dominated the first half.
And so I think when I think about our match against the Netherlands, one, I got to say, I do hope they all have the flu. I hope they're all well, but I hope they don't play well, right?
Yeah, for those that don't know, the word on the street is that the Netherlands camp is experiencing the flu.
And so, there's a lot of info that I gather too from our buddies, right? Like Zach still has a lot of good insight. Like Tim has a lot of good insight on how we're playing. But I think it's looking at the bigger picture here and saying, all right, the U.S. is facing the Netherlands. You can't necessarily compare our past competitive appearances against the Netherlands because in the last 10 years, we've only played them competitively once, right? We've played in tons of friendlies. But ultimately, like the Netherlands have not been very strong. And I think where the U.S. has played well is they're realizing we can't play out of the back anymore. We're playing on build-up play out of our midfield and creating chances from that. My only concern, which is also our saving grace, is Christian Pulisic.
Yeah. Yeah, and you and I talked about this personally the other evening. And I definitely agree. He's a huge part of the team. And I told you, for 2 years, I thought Giovanni Reyna has been who I think he is the most talented on the team. And there's some beef going on behind the scenes with his father, Claudio Reyna, who played for the national team, Berhalter, whatever. I hope he sees the pitch. Pulisic was cleared today. Josh Sargent, still a game-time decision. So... yeah, I don't know. Who do we put up? I think we need to make Timmy Weah the out-and-out 9.
I couldn't agree with you. The Weah needs to be on the pitch.
He needs to be the out-and-out 9. He needs to be our guy, our go-to striker guy. Let Pulisic be the creator. Let everybody else play around, and just Timmy Weah needs to be up front.
But I think that's the key there is letting Pulisic be a creator, not a do-it-all guy, which he is ingrained in his blood to do it all. We don't need somebody to do it all. We need Adams to do what Adams has been doing.
How good has he been? How fucking good has Tyler Adams been?
I have to say, so far, he might be in the top 5 players of the tournament. And I'm not saying this, I'm biased. I'm just saying he is. If you look at a heat map of him, the entire pitch is orange.
Small tidbit, he plays for Fulham in the Premier League. He is number 2 in the Premier League for most tackles this season.
Adams does not play for Fulham.
I'm sorry, Leeds. Tyler Adams plays for Leeds. I was thinking Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson.
Another legend. And Anthony Robinson.
Been balling. But yes, Tyler Adams with Leeds is number 2 in the Premier League for tackles this season, which is crazy.
And so let's look at this. Like, what do we want to discuss tonight? Is it our matchup against Netherlands tomorrow? Is it the likelihood of our progression? Right? Because we could always regroup later and talk about what that Argentina matchup looks like. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a bit of a gambling man. And I would put a firm 500 on U.S. to win this matchup tomorrow against the Netherlands.
They are plus 330 on the money line.
Well, it looks like Daddy's making a good old check for Christmas.
If you were going to do the money line, fine. I would, let's not forget now, this is win or go home, which means they will play extra time and penalties.
Right.
I would take to advance. I would take them to advance.
I think we should talk about the lines later. But for now, I want to be a part of whatever you guys want to discuss.
So here's what I want to discuss. Who do we put out there, right? So we got Timmy Weah up front, okay, and then Pulisic in the middle, right? Who's going to flank him? Who's on the wings?
So this is where it becomes key for us, right? We're working up against Daley Blind, who has the highest amount of caps for the Netherlands team at 97, not even 100 yet, right? The man doesn't really play heavy footy anymore. Yeah, he's an Ajax player. Ajax is a great team. But aside from that, how many other defenders besides Van Dijk can you mention within that back line? Excellent. But then you look at exactly. So then you look at the midfield, right? Mm-hmm. Frankie de Jong, amazing. Sick.
Yes.
I will say Cody Gakpo has been one of the players of the tournament so far. So it really comes down to our partnership, which makes me nervous. So as a beginning spot for who are we going to field, you have to ask ourselves, are we going to replace Zimmerman with Carter Vickers again? Or are we going to play Ream with Zimmerman? Because in their first 2 matches, we didn't concede a goal.
It's true.
But then we replaced it.
We conceded. Well, we did. It was a PK by Zimmerman on a stupid move.
I should say this. And so I don't think that merits him hitting the bench for Carter Vickers to start. But we just closed out Iran on a 1-0. But how much pressure do we absorb? So I don't think it's a matter of our back line right now. It's a matter of how are we playing, because our attack thus far this tournament has been our best defense because we maintain possession.
Correct. And in the first half against Iran, right, we crushed them. Pulisic scores the goal, gets hurt, comes off at halftime. Instead of making the correct move, which would have been Brendan Aronson in his spot or Gio Reyna in his spot and just left it the same, he switches things up, changes the formation, and then pressure. We almost concede 9,000 times.
And this thing is like Aronson shouldn't be playing on a wing. He's not a wing player, right? And so when
isn't that what he plays? Is he the striker for Leeds or does he play wing for Leeds?
No, he does play. I'm just saying in our system, we don't need a winger there. I'm talking that I'm not. And if we were going to provide context within where they play in their own league play, completely different story.
Well, I don't know what they are position-wise, like out now.
There's a different formation, right? We're talking about the U.S. national team. We know Pulisic is going to play on a wing. Weah should be our out number 9. He scored our first goal. He should be in there because the confidence and the momentum is there, right? But where I'm starting and looking at is what are we going to field as our back line? Because to be honest, I did not see Zimmerman sitting and Carter Vickers starting in our last match.
And that was also the first time in men's national team history where our starting lineup consisted of 0 MLS players.
Wow, that's wild. I mean, Jimmy, you watched all the matches. I'm sure so far, right?
Yep.
And
you know footy like the back of your hand. Where do you see our weaknesses as the national team right now?
Yeah, see, I can't speak on the players as like precise as you guys. That's why I wanted you guys to speak on it because I don't follow it like you guys. I know the game. I coached the game. I played the game. Multiple levels. Not the biggest, but my point is, here's my thing. We, like you said, possession. We have possession when we attack. Okay, so if we put the pressure on them, we win the balls, we win the challenges because we're feisty, dude. First off, that goes back to our nature, man. That's just how, you can say what you want, but other countries play differently. Okay. Like from coaching and playing with people, they see the game differently. That's why when you have a blend of it, what's what makes America special to begin with. But that's my point, right? But we're best with pressure. My point is we can't get a goal and sit there and play keep away. No, sir. That's not in our DNA. Because as much as I like that goalkeeper, his story and all that stuff, I do like that guy, but
Matt Turner.
Say what?
Yes.
Like our keeper?
Yeah. But I'm saying our defense will get penetrated. That's just how it goes. Like the English, right? They'll sit there the whole day, play keep away, get 6 or 7 little breaks and tuck one in, and that's great, right? But that's not our style because we can't do that. So what do we have to do? First, we put the pressure on, right? The second, you talked about creativity. Again, to your point, there can't be one man, Christian Pulisic, being the creator. No, that's not how this operates. I told somebody this the other day, Sheets was sitting beside me. This one dude, I can't remember who it was on our team, did a little flick, a little scoop a loop to the corner. All right. And it went out of bounds and all that. I was like, see, there's a difference between.
Yeah, it was West.
But look, there's a difference between being cute and being creative. Right? Being creative, you're serving a purpose. You're solving that task. You're like, okay, their defense is doing this. We got to bring them out. We got to do all that. Being cute is like you bluff one hand on a poker game. No, bro. You have to keep their defense guessing regardless. Have we scored all our attacks? By attacking. We haven't scored on one damn corner, one free kick. Hadn't even got close. Now I'm going to get into that piece. why is Pulisic taking those corners? Why?
Because
Can nobody else?
Gio not in the damn lineup.
No. Hold on. Hear me out. Can nobody else on that ball team put a ball in the 18?
Yeah, there's about 6 other people that could.
Exactly. So what I want my scrappy best star. I want him getting the feedback in that 18. You have a damn defender, whoever the hell else. I can do it right now. I'll put that shit in the 18. Why is he doing it? What are you talking about? Your best player is the farthest away from the end goal, which is scoring. So that's that. And now we add on what Pulisic has done with his corners and free kicks. Shit. They've all been hitting the ground, low, front post, all this bullshit. And this is another thing for every soccer player out there. Since we were little boys, okay, before we could even, run a full mile, we were taught somebody has to go to the front post of a corner and the back post of a corner.
True story.
You're right. It's the most simple, and you watch, and I'm not just blowing smoke. You go watch the playbacks. Countless times we lose on the front post, all these shit kicks. And it's like, dude, you learn from the start. You get in front of their defender and you're there. Why? Because if it's short, you can flick it on. You can do all this. And guess who comes into play if you actually did it correctly? Pulisic will be there and he'll tuck it away. But they're not doing that. So what I've said this far, I was like, hey, man, I told my brother that. I was like, look, man, if they stay the course, after what I saw that first game, they stayed the course with all these free kicks and corners. If they stay that course, the only way we're scoring is by an aggressive transition attack. Period. End of story. And that's what it has been. So this idiot coach needs to change something. That's what I'm trying to say here. Like, this is elementary. You don't have him out there.
Well, I have, and John told me this earlier. And first off, in terms of set pieces, I could not agree more. The way we're doing that is wackadoodle dandy. And it's great for the John stat that he put that we haven't conceded, from that open play. It's only in the set piece side. But also, why can't we at least create a chance from that, besides from just building out from our midfield? But I do think it's important to note, based on what John told me earlier today, according to Sledzik. So Sledzik, if you're listening, let me know if I'm wrong here. But it sounds like regardless of how far we progress, Berhalter is going to be out, which I have to say, I think everybody here is on board for Greg Berhalter not being the fucking manager for the U.S. national team anymore. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We could talk about all the drama and all the garbage once if we either drop out or hell, maybe we fucking win the whole thing. But I don't think we need to talk about the hypotheticals.
Well, my point is, if you stay the course with this, if Pulisic's going to keep taking the crosses, hey, bud, at least get them up and in. Get it together. I don't understand if you're going to stay the course.
And I want to speak to your point, too, a little bit about the creativity versus the cuteness, right? Because what that exact moment that you were mentioning was Weston McKennie playing that little dink ball over the top, right? Mm-hmm. Plays for Juve. He's a great player. And to be honest with you, the reason why is I think he's used to that outlet being there without being quite used to playing with this team. And so I will say this confidently, is that so long as we attack and have Tyler Adams to be that CDM role for us to make sure that he can assist the fucking ancient relics of Tim Ream in the back and then whatever other MLS schmuck we're going to play with him, that's all we need. But right now we have Weston McKennie, who I will say this, he's one of the few midfielders we have on our team that knows exactly where everyone is before he ever receives the ball. Yeah. And that's the difference maker on our team, is having that player where maybe that is the wrong pass, that dink ball over the top, but he's so many steps ahead that is the right if that person on the wing is making that run in the first place.
Hey, but that's also knowing your teammate.
This is exactly why I started the whole thing about chemistry. Right.
Well, it's true, but also you're talking about different levels. If he's playing better ball, you got to remember this guy doesn't see the game the way you see it. You get what I'm saying? So
and that was one thing. McKennie has also created over 13 and a half chances so far in the World Cup. It's like, he's not a bad player.
No, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying so that. The creativity becomes addictive, right? So, you see it happen. You see one play work, and you're like, dang, okay, they got shook on that, and they might see something a little different. That's what creativity spreads, right? cuteness is like one guy can do it. Not everybody can do that, but everybody can be creative, right? That's my point there. And it's just like the club players playing with people in high school that didn't play club. You can't expect them. I'm sorry, but like if you're better than somebody else, it's just like Jordan playing with anybody who Jordan played with in basketball. You can't expect them to see the game that way.
I agree. Yeah.
But what you can do is explain to them the best you can. And like, look, here's something you didn't see before. This is a possibility because this guy's done this. This defender's done the same thing 6 times in a row. You get what I'm saying?
I do, yeah. No, I agree. I'm just trying to give a little bit of benefit of the doubt to Weston playing in the role he's in because we don't have a lot of players that see it 3 steps ahead like Weston McKennie does.
True. Oh, God.
So, John, let me ask you. God damn. Why? If we're going to have anybody in here, make it Zach Solt. This man knows all footy inside out.
All right. Okay, but here's my question. How do we score the goal? How do we win? Who scores it? How do we do it? Yeah.
I think we first start with our opportunities. What James said is stop letting Pulisic take corner kicks. It's like having Harry Kane take our corners or having Harry Kane take corners for England.
Or free kicks. God.
Please don't.
Hey, you know when that happened? That happened. We were all in elementary school or middle school, and the biggest kid took the kick because he could get it there. Like that's when that happened.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing?
We're way past that now. And so before we even talk about how we score, John, I want to hear your opinion on Musa. I want to hear your thoughts on his presence in the field right now on the pitch and figure out, is that somebody you stand behind at least as a role within our attack?
I do. Also, it was his 20th birthday. Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, Musa.
I think he could potentially be one of the very, very good players for us.
I totally agree.
He just turned 20. He could be something very special. He's got a lot of heart. Plays. There are players that came on the pitch for us that I wish would never come again. Shaq Moore being one of them. I just saw that text. I know Jacob deGrom has left the Mets.
I know. I'm like, goddamn, I can't even focus. deGrom's gone.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, I think Yunus Musa could be very big for us. Very big. I'd like to see Joe Scally get some time too.
Yeah, but I think for this next matchup, we need to maintain the same lineup we've been running with. I don't think it's any time to change. I think the one risk we played, it went okay with Carter Vickers coming in over top of Zimmerman. Hey, Dan. And ultimately, I think we have to sustain, and especially within our attack. So many American fans right now are talking about why Berhalter sucks because they're not seeing Gio Reyna. At this point, we've progressed. We have conceded minimally. We don't need to change anything within the attack. The only thing I think, and this may be a ballsy call, but I think I would start Aronson over Pulisic on the wing, despite the fact that maybe he wouldn't be our strongest, because I think Pulisic would need to come in 55th, 60th, all things, because I think Brandon Aronson can hold his own entirely.
Well, James, when we conceded that half, the first and second half are completely different. The difference was the second half, we held back. We tried to hold the win.
That's not what we can do. That's not our style.
We can't.
I told you at the beginning, our attack is our best defense.
It is. No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, people like you just. I get the concept, but we aren't capable, so we have to go full throttle because we're in shape enough to do it. That's it.
Yeah. All right. So I think here's my prediction on how we score. I believe it is a counterattack. The wings come into play. It ends up to Pulisic's feet. He plays a ball across the box, and Serginho Dest scores a goal against the nation he was born in. Serginho Dest could have joined the Dutch or the men's national team for the United States. He chose the United States. I think Serginho Dest, our right wing back gets the goal.
I think that sounds likely, but I think the most likely outcome of this still is on a counter. But I think Van Dijk's going to give up the pen. And I think we score first off a penalty. And here's my concern, is that we score first, whether it be a penalty or not. And then we do exactly what James and I are hoping we fucking don't do, which is absorb pressure. We cannot absorb pressure as a team. We're awful at it. Iran should have scored 4 times in the last 20 minutes of that match. Like, there's no reason we should.
I agree.
And so, all things considered, I believe that a penalty will be given to the United States, whether that's first. I hope we get that goal. But my prayer is that Berhalter does not respond to that penalty in the sense of changing what our direction is. We need to maintain the attack. And if we don't, we will concede a goal 100%, and then we'll crumble further and we'll concede 2 more.
Yeah, Berhalter cannot go Jose on us. No Jose. No doubt,
if we go Jose, we're fucked.
Oh,
this is the guy. This is the one who can speak to at least the bigger picture in terms of the entire tournament. I don't think I know anybody that knows footy as well as Silky does. So, all that being said, on the other hand, let's think about the hypothetical. How do we concede?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Just as you said, or we get caught flat-footed on a break, like when if they decide to come back with the same punch, you know what I mean? But I think it's that.
So Silky, can you hear us?
He's muted.
No, yeah, I'm in here. What up?
There
I just didn't want to interrupt like anything if I had to set stuff up. So
turn the video back on, Silk.
What up?
Your video went out.
Oh yeah, I just turned it off. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
That's fine.
I don't want to get in on your stream.
No. Come on.
Oh, shit. What's up, bro?
Yeah, Silky was in town this past weekend.
We're talking hypotheticals for tomorrow, and only not the greater World Cup picture, which I think you could definitely speak on. But let's think about hypotheticals of U.S. versus Netherlands. How do we concede tomorrow?
How do we concede? Overload on the wings. Like if they play the 3, the 5, or like the wing backs, playing 3 in the back like that and pushing the wing backs up, they're going to get either Memphis or Gakpo, and they're going to overload one side and playing balls in. Who's the really tall striker that they have as well that they could put into playing balls in? It's not going to be like against Iran, where Iran let Robinson and Dest push up from the wingbacks. Like they were super high all game. Pretty much everything, whether they were pushing up and playing the balls in or winning the balls back, they were all in and around the midfield for the most part. And they were Iran was trying to like force themselves through the middle, right, on the counter. The Netherlands aren't going to play us that way. They'll push, they'll overload, they'll use De Jong and Virgil to play balls in from the back, and they'll just scatter in and around the box, and they'll just sit there and play balls in, overloading the wings. And like James said, countering is going to be really great. And talking about Aronson, where Aronson's the workhorse, so if you need somebody to put pressure, he's the one that like actually pressures from the front. So he's attacking all of whoever's trying to dictate play from the midfield or from the back. That's a player you want putting pressure if you're going to play that way. If you're going to be proactive and push a little bit farther forward, then you need someone who's a chaser, who's going to run on it. Pulisic's not going to really do that, nor is him or Weah. Or they're not going to. Neither of them are really going to fall back. Anyway. What's up?
I'd rather him get the ricochet from the dude putting pressure on. You get what I'm saying? If he wins the ball, I want Pulisic to have it to take him on.
Yeah, that's where Christian's going to pick up the ball and more in like a midfield position and go at a defenders. Versus
which is a blessing and a curse to have. I love an attacking player that wants to face a defender, but if we're on a counter attack, Pulisic doesn't make the smart choice. He's going to beat the defender, which in most cases he doesn't. He can, but he doesn't. And so there's so many opportunities over the last 3 matches we played where Pulisic could have played another ball.
It's more or less like the same, like him and Weah are playing the same style, where they're trying to beat a player, and most of the time they're gonna like either cut in. Like Weah goes mostly to the end line, but obviously like Pulisic's gonna cut in as much as he can
and make that shot. Yeah.
So like they have those bit of differences, but yeah, I think it's got to be a counter. If they play with the counter, then it's probably Pulisic because he's great at moving the ball forward. So as you stretch those lines or have anybody, I don't know if Josh Sargent was actually injured or is going to play. I'm not sure about that because I did see he had like a small injury thing.
He's definitely the forward choice for me, though.
They say he's game time decision.
Yeah, he's game time decision.
If he's available, he's the striker I want.
Yeah, I think Brandon Anderson. I think Brandon Anderson has the biggest motor on the team. That dude does not stop. He's like a menace, dude. He attacked. I don't know.
Well,
I think Sergiño Dest, and that's piggybacking off what Sleds and I were talking about earlier. He's like, dude, Sergiño's going to get it. Like Sergiño's been strong. Tyler Adams clearly has been insane for us.
Yeah.
Anthony Robinson has been great.
So that's where Pulisic could be like that player we need in transition, because if those three, like Eunice and Weston and Tyler Adams, are just going to be running around chasing or trying to put pressure in that midfield, or having if we want to prevent overloads on the wings, one of those players has to go and cover a wing. So one of the midfielders is coming back, so that way there's still pressure cover balance. You can push two people out that way. It's going to be one of those. So Pulisic coming in mostly and in transition where he can play the balls to whoever's trying to go forward. Because if they're really trying to push their wing back so far forward, it's going to be, just Virgil and whoever they decide to play next to him.
It'll be like
is it Blind on one side and then it's going to be De Ligt or De Vrij on the other.
Yeah, they got three solid center backs.
So,
well, we say solid. It's like, they're big names. Van Dijk, yes.
I mean, they're good players.
So, here's the other question. Here's the other question.
Give up so many goals because of poor decision making and poor tackling.
In a 1v1 situation, can Tim Weah or Christian Pulisic beat Virgil van Dijk as a last man?
No,
dude.
Probably not. So, you really have to be able to pressure him then.
But that's what I'm saying is
and you can't let Virgil dictate the play from that place. Like, if you cannot counterattack them and put pressure in a 1v and win your 1v1 against him, then you can't let them just sit there and pass the ball around, because that's what they'll do the whole time. And you run around Tyler Adams, and he's running as much as literally the most of any player in the World Cup he's run. But if they just sit there and pass the ball around and you never get the ball and you can never really do anything going forward against Virgil, you guarantee one of those balls that they put into our box and then the center back's just swinging on, boom, it's going to fall to somebody, and it's going to be a Gakpo, and it's going to be a Depay, and they're going to get a finish away. So
I agree. I think that's why it really remains a lot of structure in our back line. And that's why I'm so curious. Do we play CCD or do we play Zimmerman? And what is that going to look like in terms of structure and organization within our back four? And if we can't figure that out, because I'm all about Des making those runs. But if we don't have that, just like in every other match we played so far this World Cup, we can't leave it all to Tyler Adams this time. We've left it all to Tyler Adams for the last three matches. And if we try and leave it to Tyler Adams for this one, we're going to get fucked. So this one comes down to organization and structure, which means I really hope that Berhalter can give a firm understanding of what we are to expect as a team going into tomorrow.
Perfect. That's awesome. Dan joined us. Zach joined us. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap it up with predictions right now. Dan,
because I gotta roll, boys.
Yeah,
James, what's your prediction?
Me?
Yep. Score prediction.
Oh, score prediction. Wait, which one? Young James?
Big rack.
Time.
Yeah,
hold on, James. Hold on.
Gotta get out of
big
here,
rack.
dude.
Young James, my bad.
Obviously, I'm rooting for us. But dude, I'm just gonna say 2-1 us, hopefully, but I don't know.
Hey,
right.
Commit to it.
Commit to
2-1.
it.
But I mean, obviously, I put it out there. It's there, but that's what it is.
No, 2-1.
We'll see you, Rack.
Hey, gentlemen.
Go USA.
All
right, Young Jimmy. Prediction.
2-1. 1-1 in normal time. And if we'll get one in probably the 114th. If that's not the case, then so be it. But 2-1 win.
Zach?
I mean, 2-1 is definitely the score I see, but like it really depends on who. If anybody gets it early, if it goes like against us, then I mean, it could be bad. But if we get that first one, I mean, like we carry the momentum. I feel like it just really depends on who scores first, but 2-1 is probably the right. Like both teams are really going to fight for it, and it could be a tactical thing, but it's really going to depend on who gets that first one, and whoever gets that is probably who sees it out.
Dan?
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go. So, all right.
Pick your winners.
Well, I'm just going to say positive. If we're going to go positive U.S., my score is 1-0. Like, we get that goal, and, like, we just do American spirit defending.
Hold the
and, like, it's just like the crowd is going to go wild. Like,
come on, boys!
Just defend for 30 more minutes, boys. You know, like, hold on, boys. Hold on. Yeah. It's going to be one of those kind of moments, or they're going to score in the first 20 minutes, and it's going to be 3-0 before half.
I'm being honest. I don't see that happening. I think Tim Reen has been such a rock. I don't see us conceding 3 in the first half. We can't deny.
That's if they score early. If they score early, we fall apart.
Let's not talk about hypotheticals, if conditional statements. What is your prediction for tomorrow?
1-0 USA.
All right,
I love it.
1-0.
My prediction, tomorrow we concede first, and then in pure American fashion, we come the fuck back. We tie it. It goes to extra time. Gio Reyna sees the field.
We can't score goals.
Gio Reyna sees the field in extra time. He scores the game winner and tells Berhalter to go fuck himself as he gets fired on the way out.
Dest is going to get one, you know?
Dest is getting our first one. Dest is scoring against the Dutch.
Everybody wants Dest to get one, dude.
Dest is overconfident, and he's going to get burnt on the wing.
By who? By who? By who?
Arakpo?
You know, I mean, dude, to be fair, think about, like,
whatever the guy's name is on the wing, he's really good.
Think
about some of the more technical players.
That kid is a speedster, and he's got talent.
Brother, like
I'm just saying,
in England.
We already did this.
He's one of the best of the up and coming, like, and worst play, like the last player you would want to have to go like 1v1 with. So
I'm saying,
I mean,
that's their matchup.
We have faced good players.
All right, so many of us, let's say this real quick before we all part ways, right? We're all a bit of gambling folk, right? We like a nice risky bet. What's the over-under on how many Guinness James has consumed by 11 a.m.?
The hour in.
Well, I'll set it at 4.5, and I will say over.
4.5?
The over-under is 4.5. I'm taking the over.
Wait,
Yeah,
Guinness, are we like pinting it?
11?
Or are we like pints? Oh, I'm saying over 3.5.
What time's the game tomorrow?
I'm going with a 4.
10 a.m.
So it's 4.
It's going to be 5.
5.
So how many
5
beers
in an
by
hour.
11?
Jesus.
I mean,
10 a.m. We
I'll-
get into the pub at 8.
Yeah.
I'll
Who's gonna
leave you
have
with
a heart
this.
attack tomorrow? Like, that's the real thing. Like, you got to really be careful. I mean, yeah.
The odds for the USA to win straight up are plus 350 money line right now. And the Netherlands are minus 115. Okay, listen. To advance, to USA plus 188.
what?
Netherlands minus 210.
So I would take the money line anyway.
No, I would not. I would take USA to
because of
qualify.
extra time and penalties.
Yes.
Extra penalties. I forget
Money
that this
line,
whole
yes.
betting
Money
bullshit
line is
doesn't
only
mean
in regulation
anything.
time.
Yeah.
Take them to qualify. Plus 188. That's the pick, baby.
Shoo!
What's the spread, John?
I mean,
The spread as it stands, half a goal. Over under is 2.5.
Boys, we got a barn burner tomorrow.
Half a goal, baby.
We
Hey,
hope.
Listen.
Are we doing a breakdown pod tomorrow?
Yeah, we can talk about it afterwards. We can do it in the Discord. That's going to wrap it for this episode. I'm going to talk to these guys in like 0.3 minutes. That's it. We'll catch you guys next week. Go